Welcome to Asia. I was watching a vlog recently with a guy by the name of Steady Eddie. Now, Steady Eddie is a British gentleman. He's in his 60s. He decided, after wanting for many years to just leave Britain and travel to Asia, so he started up a vlog and he got himself ready, got all his ducks lined up, he sold off whatever he had, and he got prepared. And he got a one-way ticket to Thailand from Britain. Keep in mind, he's in his 60s, and I watched one of his vlogs. I got addicted to his channel for a short period of time. I was like, oh, what is this old guy doing? You know? And he goes to Thailand, he travels by himself, and he discovers a few truths about the world and the facts on the ground that most people in the West don't know until you land on the ground. There's a lot more competition. So Steady Eddie wasn't able to get himself a girlfriend. He wasn't able to just swipe right on Tinder or meet himself a girl like possibly he would have been able to do 20 years prior. And maybe 20 years ago, a 60-year-old man would have went to Thailand and might have had some success. Steady Eddie found himself paying for play. And, it's not that Steady Eddie would explicitly say that, but the way he would talk about girls in some of his videos, it was quite clear that he was paying for play, you know. And so he arrived, he got prepared, and he learnt the hard way that it's not so easy anymore, that there's a lot of money coming to Asia, and that the women have a lot more options. There's a lot of younger guys going to Asia now, especially Thailand. There's guys in their 20s um, that are just getting on a one-way flight from the United States as well. So Steady Eddie wasn't just competing with other 60-year-old men. He found himself competing with young young men, and he clearly wasn't able to find himself a girlfriend. The other issue was he was in his 60s. He waited too long. Now, about 10 months in, I think it was, I went through his videos. Around 10 months in, he made a video where uh, he was talking quite slowly in the vlog, and his audience left a lot of comments saying, "Hey, Steady Eddie, you're not so steady right now. You're fumbling your words. You're talking slowly. Something doesn't seem right. Are you okay? You should see a doctor." And he read the comments, and then he went to the doctor. And it turns out that he didn't know, but he had a stroke. Now, a 60-year-old man with no real friends or family in Thailand, the health system's not so great over there. He has a stroke. He didn't even last 10 months. So Steady Eddie finds himself in a hospital for 3 months or maybe more. I think it was in a Thai hospital before he was well enough to get on a flight back to Britain, got himself well again somehow, stayed in hospital maybe another 6 months or more. And he didn't even last 1 year without something seriously going wrong. And so, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you're a younger guy and look, if you're homeless, this video is no use to you. If you are just lazy, and you're not willing to get out there and do some like low skilled labor and work long hours to save the money, this video is no use to you either. But if you have even the slightest bit of money saved up, you could definitely go to Asia for a couple of years, maybe more, easy. And I suggest you start considering that earlier rather than later. You know, Britain, as an example, the economy is not doing too great at the moment. The government's becoming increasingly authoritarian. And, there's geopolitical threats. They're technically at war with Russia. You know, for Steady Eddie to wait until this moment to get on a flight to Thailand, he left too late. And as a 70, 60, going on to 70-year-old man, things aren't going to get any easier for Steady Eddie. Even if he became a millionaire tomorrow and he had all the money in the world to throw around, he is technically still too old. And so what I'm trying to point out to you guys is if you're sitting at home and you want to travel, you want to get out of the West, it's an urgency for you. Now is your chance to do it. You know, there are other geopolitical threats in Asia. There are other problems in Asia as well that are only going to get worse. And so it's not just your age. Globalization is coming to a head. There's a lot of problems. The fact that right now you can save in dollars or pounds or euros, and you'll have the ability to use that powerful country in Asia, that's not always going to be the case. You know, that's not always going to be the case. And so Steady Eddie, my understanding is, I saw a video recently. Steady Eddie's back in Thailand, you know, but he is a little bit too old now. And so if you're watching this, just the urgency should be there. You need to figure out how to get out of the West now, because things aren't going to get any easier for you. And the older you get, things aren't going to get any better. Now, there's a lot more, there's far more competition in the West. There's far more younger guys coming from the West to Asia, sorry, not in the West. You know, like even in Thailand, there's a lot of guys that are in their early 20s that are traveling to Thailand and Bangkok. You know, there's guys that are figuring it out. I met a Canadian guy who's 19 years old. He runs an online business. He's one of the few that can actually make money out of his business. And he's traveling the world at 19. Good looking young dude. If you let it go, there is a point where there's no return and there's nothing you can do. You get to 60, the gym's not going to help you. I don't think steroids going to help you. I don't think getting you know, there's the most of Asia is now far more developed than people realize, and there's far more competition now, and they're far more wealthier. And so you have to have you at least your the one thing that you can bring is your youth. And if you let your youth dwindle away, the probability of you getting laid in Asia is going to diminish, because that is one of your number one weapons you can bring. And the other thing is, don't just wait until you think you have enough money. Just do a sniper attack. If you got enough money now, go do a couple weeks. Go do a month if you can. Stretch it out. Pick one place and just try it out. See if you can make it happen. Another tip I will say is, don't think that you can make money online. I don't make any money off this channel at all. I get students that are hitting me up here and there, but I've been running this channel a long time, and I'm at the point now where I've been running this channel for 3 or 4 years now, and I'm at the point where I'm getting referrals for clients. It can take a long time to build up a business and make money online. So don't think that you're going to be able to make that money online. You're better off, and I know this goes against what most people's advice is, you're better off just doing whatever cash work you can, wash dishes, deliver pizza, trade your time for money right now, which is the opposite of what people tell you to do, and work really hard in the West to stack enough cash to get out. That's the only option. But you are running out of time, that's for sure. You know, this is relatively This is another country that is deemed to be relatively poor. The city's pretty big already, and there's buildings going up every single day. And so when you look around, the whole idea that Asia's poor and that you can bring $5 with you and girls are going to throw themselves at you, you know, Steady Eddie learnt the hard way that that's just not the case. So your youth is just as valuable as stacking enough cash. So have a balance of the both when planning your trip. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Steady Eddie is a prime example of someone who waited too long, and I don't think that you should be waiting that long. If you want to, you know, reach out for a consulting call, you know, you're thinking of traveling to Asia, you want to hear my take on the different cities, because I basically hit every city in Asia, literally every city in Asia. If you want to hit me up, you want to, you know, speak to someone who's actually been to these places and has done a lot of game in these cities as well, you know, hit me up for a consulting call. If you want to learn cold approach, you want to learn, you know, do some coaching for consulting, you know, a consulting fee, hit me up, because that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm just basically traveling around, dating, and trying to enjoy my life. And um, I think that's the best way to live your life at the moment. I can't think of anything better to do. And so go to the coaching form, go to the website, check out the website. I've got a lot of articles there. I talk about cold approach mainly. You know, keep in mind a lot of the good looking young guys that come to Asia now, they only use dating apps. And so you can still, as an older guy with the right strategies, defeat them with cold approach. Also, you could find yourself going to the wrong city, because cities like Bangkok are a little bit overpopulated with young, good looking, rich dudes now. And they're not smart enough to know that that's not the city to be in. There's so many other cities that are better and full of hot girls, and they're not overpopulated with young, good looking, rich guys from the West. So there's a lot of value that I bring with the consulting calls, dating mostly, but now I've got some experience out here. You can utilize that experience by getting on a call with me. So hit me up. I'll see you guys in the next video.